So what's my Saturn?
So no, let's not. No, no, that's another episode.
Oh, okay.
And if you want to, we can do your Saturn return. But today, we're here to discuss your North Node and your Midheaven. Hey, everybody! Welcome to Connected, where I am feeling very uncomfortable right now. Not only because I'm here with Andrew Gleason, and he always makes me feel really, really uncomfortable, but because I'm on camera, and I'm used to being behind the camera. This is so unnerving. It's like first the Zoom and now this, and it's freaking me out.
It's like it's a cameo from like Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
When he makes a cameo in his movies.
Yeah, I think it's worse than that. I think Martin Scorsese would be very, very comfortable cameoing in his movies.
Probably.
He seems like such a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not as bad as Judd Apatow.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, Andrew Gleason, how are you?
I'm doing well out in Wilmington.
Good. Yeah. Andrew is here. We just finished a shoot. I don't think we should give anything away.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, so today we are here to do the second installment, as promised in our last episode that we ventured into astrology. And Andrew wanted to know today what his North Node and his Midheaven are and how that plays into his destiny and his career and life's purpose, life's path, all of that stuff. So we're going to venture it. I'm not going to lie, I do have a little bit of notes. And when I say a little bit of notes, if you just heard them crumble behind me, a little bit of notes. I have a lot of notes because Andrew's North Node and his Midheaven are, well, I know a lot about, so his North Node is in Capricorn, which I know a lot about Capricorn. And weirdly, like I know his Midheaven is in Scorpio, which I know a lot about Scorpio too. But with those placements with the North Node and the Midheaven, it's a little bit different than like all the other different signs.
I don't know what that means.
So, or
I don't even know what a North
placements.
Node Midheaven is.
Yeah,
like
so
a stripper's abs. It's the middle of heaven.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of puns today.
Yeah, there is. I know. I'm concerned about time because I'm like, oh man, are we gonna be able to get through all of this?
Hopefully.
Without, okay. Well, first of all, let me get into discussing what a North Node is. Okay, or what the North Node is. So the North Node basically is it's like what I consider your karmic future. It's kind of like where you're projectedly heading in this life. Okay, and with the North Node, you have a South Node. Your South Node is usually your karmic past. So as you can imagine, you're moving from one thing to another in this lifetime. Okay, so with your North Node in Capricorn, your South Node is in Cancer.
Okay, so like the jelly in Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's like the beginning and the end of that jelly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Got it.
Pretty much. So for example, with your South Node being in Cancer, one would believe, so if you believed in having multiple lives, one would maybe believe that in your past life, you had a big family. You were very much a family person. You are a family man. If you were a man in your previous life, if you were a mother, or if you were a woman, you'd be a mother. Because Cancer is all about the home. It's all about family. It's all about nurturing.
I was definitely a man. I couldn't be a mom. I can't breastfeed. I've got very small nipples. So
in your previous life, you're pretty sure that you were a man in your previous life?
Yeah, I mean, have you seen my nipples? They're tiny. It's like not maternal at all.
Okay. I can firmly say that I was definitely a man in my previous life.
Okay.
And it has nothing to do with my nipple size.
Oh, really? Okay.
But yeah, no, I just know. I feel like I was definitely a man in my previous life. But yeah, so you were very much dedicated to, that's just who you were though, is that your karmic future in your previous life, we would believe was Cancer. So you were probably moving.
How does this work? is it like you die in 1964 and you're born in 1964, or is there a gap? Do you hang out in the void for a while?
You could, yeah.
Word?
Yeah. I mean, we really don't know how past lives, we don't really know how multiple lives work. We don't know if...
So I'd also argue that, like, back in the day, everybody had to be a family person. You had to have, like, 11 kids because 8 of them are dying. It's like you...
This is true. So basically what you're saying is there really is no... I mean...
If you were a loner back in the day, you were a serial killer.
Right.
You were like a tramp who hopped trains and stabbed people for beans. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so really what you're saying is a Cancer South Node placement really is not an indicator of somebody that was caring or nurturing. It's just an indicator of maybe life before 1900.
Yeah, I think maybe everybody was a Cancer.
Okay. So anyway, but moving into Capricorn. So basically what you're kind of shedding in this life is you're shedding your South Node. So you're shedding your Cancer.
It was a soft shell crab.
Yeah, so you're kind of, I don't want to say you're shedding your Cancer-esque qualities. What you're doing is you're actually coming to the you're coming to the finality of it. You're kind of coming to the perfectness of it. It's not that you want to get rid of it. It's just that you are good at being Cancer-esque. You are good
now,
at
currently.
being, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So coming into this life until you're about 30, because at 28 you go through your solar return.
That's when the sun comes back.
Or not your solar return, I'm sorry. Your Saturn return.
Oh, that's when Saturn comes back.
Yes.
I know what the word return means.
Yeah. Clearly. So anyway, yeah, so your Saturn return happens around the time that you're 28, in which you're supposed to go through a massive kind of soul shift. Okay, yes, I know. So Andrew is 29.
I am.
So, yeah, so now is kind of where your life will probably start to head in a more, you'll probably align more with your mission in life. You're going to start to kind of come away from being so much a family concerned person and into the Capricornian North Node.
Start fucking broads, man.
Yeah.
It's like, no family, man. It's like, you. All right.
Yeah.
But does that matter where Saturn is? Is that what it is? So when you're like, your Saturn is, or whatever, I don't even know what mine is.
Yeah,
Like,
so
your Saturn
we would have
is
to
a
look into
Capricorn. So when Saturn comes back,
Yeah.
is that what that is?
Well, so yeah, so your Saturn return, Saturn only comes back to the sign that you were born in every 28 to 29 and a half years. Okay, because Saturn, I think Saturn, or maybe it's 27 to 29 and a half, because Saturn is only in a sign for 2.5 years. So it takes from
like
the moment...
Cosmological period.
Yeah.
It's like every 28. Okay.
Yeah, so Saturn hasn't been in your sign until now, since you were born. That's what a Saturn return is.
Okay.
And so Saturn, as we discussed previously, and
I was a promiscuous baby.
So Saturn returns, and that is when, so Saturn is like the disciplinarian, as we discussed in the previous episode, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So that's why you kind of really start to experience like life lessons that put you on a different path. That's the idea behind the Saturn return, is it comes back around, it kind of teaches you a lesson, and then it puts you not on a different path entirely, but it either cements you further into the path that you've already started integrating since like the beginning of your Saturn return, or it completely throws your life off. Speaking as a person who's been through mine completely and has come out the other end, it completely changed everything for me. Like I felt like my life just like fell out from underneath me. What is my Saturn? My Saturn is in Virgo.
What does that mean?
Oh, no, this isn't, no, we don't get the switcheroo on this one.
So that means that you were living crazy and then Virgo came back and then you returned to innocence?
I only wish. If
Oh.
Saturn was in Aries, I would have returned back to innocence. But Saturn returning back to Virgo is kind of like...
The opposite.
Yeah.
No, I got it.
Yeah. You got to be... Hey. You got to be practical.
So what's my Saturn?
So, no. Let's not... No. No, that's another episode.
Oh, okay.
And if you want to, we can do your Saturn return. But today, we're here to discuss your North Node and your Midheaven. So you want to ask, what is your...
North Node.
Right. So with... You're doing so good. I feel like I should have like with those star stickers, you know? 1 gold star. So anyway,
Fit in with the astrology thing.
Yeah. So your South Node, with it being in Cancer, your North Node is in Capricorn. Capricorn is, okay, so Capricorn's all about like climbing the mountain to achievement. So believe it or not, in this lifetime, you are to learn how to basically set goals and attain them. You are to learn how to secure yourself financially. You are supposed to pull away. It's not that you can't necessarily have a family, but it's just that is not your focus this lifetime around. You've learned how to do that. Congratulations. Bravo.
Yeah.
I mean, in your previous life, that would be what would be thought, is that you've learned that. You've learned how to be nurturing, because whatever taught you in your previous life was transitioning into that Cancer. So then you were born into this lifetime having that already. So you're nurturing, you're caring, you know how to take care of other people. But now you're moving into Capricorn, which is more about, it's basically more about not the practicalities of life necessarily, because that doesn't mean that you can't have a creative career. It just means that you're more goal-oriented, that you are going to learn this life how
Narcissistic.
to...
Self-obsessed.
It always comes back to that.
Is that the stereotype for Capricola?
For Capricorns, Capricorns can be so goal-driven that they forget that they need people.
Oh.
Yeah. Capricornian energy is so focused on their goals that they really have a hard time learning that they kind of, they really do. It would be good for them to integrate a little bit of that Cancerian energy, because they really can kind of be cold and detached from...
So as I age, I'm going to be more and more detached from the people in my life until I'm just that old man who sits in the corner at Thanksgiving. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, damn it.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't really know.
Just muttering to myself.
Yeah. I mean, you got to remember, it is your North Node placement, so it's really just more or less like what you're here to learn, what your life lessons will be around. And don't be afraid. The one thing that I have encountered many times with Capricornian people is they have this weird tendency to pretend that they don't care if they attain any of their achievements, or if they accomplish any of their achievements, is what I want to say. And it's kind of because we're taught, or maybe they were taught from their Cancerian, if they ever had a Cancerian parent, which a lot of times that happens, that like wanting to climb the mountain to the top of the ladder, so to speak, is a bad thing to desire and to want. So just, as you move into... out of your Saturn return, just be careful not to adopt that energy, because that energy is actually very shadowy and negative, and you really just need to...
That's my least favorite thing about Cancers.
Yeah. You mean Capricorns?
No, Cancer's not climbing the ladder. Yeah, don't like it.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
All right.
Hired a Cancer to shingle my roof. Wouldn't climb the ladder.
No, yeah. So that's basically what you are here to do, is you're here to learn how to set goals and achieve them.
So just self-reliance.
No, not self-reliance, because then that would be the shadowy aspect of Capricorn that I discussed, that I really kind of discourage. I would say that it's that you will need people, and that's okay. It's just more or less that you're not focused on...
I naturally hunch over like that old man. I'm so pissed off. Ooh, a Hershey's Kiss. Just in the corner, eating candy.
Yeah.
Continue. Sorry. I'm straightening
So
my shoulders.
it's just more or less that you will, that's just what you're aiming for. You're going to become slightly more goal oriented, but it's a slow, the thing with Capricorn North Node is it's a slow climb. It's not like you are basically, I mean, I don't want to say it, but you are destined to achieve and have success this life. That is your focus rather than be like a family man.
I'm going to have health insurance one day.
Yes.
I'm going to live on my own. No
Yes.
roommates.
Yeah. But now here's where the interesting thing.
I'm going to brush my teeth 2 weeks in a row.
Oh,
No
man.
days off.
Wow, that's discipline. I mean, that is Capricornian. Yeah, it's disciplinarian.
If you brush your teeth morning and night 2 weeks in a row, you're a sociopath. You telling me
Those
there's
people
no
can't be
day you
trusted.
feel like too low or depressed, you don't just want to go straight to bed? Like,
I mean,
come
I
on.
don't really know.
That's like major pain, like military discipline.
Yeah.
It's like, come
It
on.
is.
No, I'll shower in the morning.
Yeah.
I just want to go to sleep.
Yeah. Well, you'll be shifting into that. So, I mean, maybe not with your teeth brushing, but with you, like
My tongue scraping.
with your.
Because that's even worse. So you tongue scrape every day? Come on. Psychopath. You're a fucking psychopath.
Oh man.
Okay. So I'll get better at achieving goals as I get older.
Right. And you may not even be aware of it. It's just more or less, it's not that you're going to get better. It's just that is your life lesson. And we could say that that the universe is going to, that those are going to be your lessons. So what's going to happen is you're going to get smacked, and then the lesson is going to be, hey, like, you're not succeeding because you're not setting goals and you're not working towards attaining those goals, and then you get smacked again until you start to learn. And so that's essentially what your karmic, that's essentially what your karmic future in this lifetime is going to be coming into. So, but yes, it's kind of like, it is slow going, unfortunately. But what makes it really interesting in my mind is where the midheaven comes into play.
Okay.
But first, before I move on, do you have any questions about the South Node, Cancer, being in the Cancerian energy, or the North Node being in the Capricornian energy?
No real questions. I don't know. I'm just taking it as good news. You know,
Okay.
I'll start working out when I'm 40.
Okay.
I'm getting there.
All right. Okay.
Will that get canceled out by age? Like, as I get
No.
older, I get more tired. I'm like 52. I'm like, God, I have a goal to go running.
But see, your goal is going to be still aligned with who you are as a person. It's just that it's the energy that you're going to be stepping into more and more and more.
Okay.
Do you want me to use mine, for example, since I'm 12 years past the age of 28,
Yeah.
so that I can show you? Okay.
Yeah, you got another one coming up. You're like 54, right?
Shut up. I'm not aging that quickly. Okay. So my South Node is in Aquarius. Okay. Aquarius is usually very collective focused. They're usually very centered on society, the greater good, the big picture. Okay. They usually, with the South Node placement being in Aquarius, I was very focused coming into this life on everybody else and whether or not they were happy. And I played very active, supportive roles in their lives. If you wanted to paint me as being the actress in a movie, what I would have won an Oscar for was Best Supporting Actress. Okay? So that was with the Aquarian placement. But my North Node is in Leo, which is exactly the opposite. Leo is front and center. Leo is standing at the mic. Aquarius would have been pulling the curtain, okay? Like if you were on
Gotcha.
stage. So Leo is actually coming into the spotlight more and more and more, being more playful, more childlike, more creative, where Aquarius was more collective based. Also, like Aquarius, when I think of Aquarian energy, I think of like the humanitarian. So most likely in my previous life, I could have been donating, I could have been maybe like I was part of the Women's March to, gain the right to vote or something like that.
You were always Helen Hunt, not Meryl Streep.
Right. But what I'm saying is I was focused I was focused on the humanitarian aspect in the Aquarian energy of also being supportive. Where coming out of that though, I'm supposed to be more front and center, more not like selfish, but more focused on being front and center, not playing the supportive role, and also just being more playful, more creative, more performing type stuff, which is really interesting given that it's only been in the past 2 years that a mic has landed in front of my face and now a camera is opposite me. So that's where I would say but before that though, I was supporting everybody in building their businesses and building their careers. And I still like to dabble in that, but it's something that I've perfected not perfected, but it's something that I've learned how to do. And so now I can move into this place of being like a Leo North Node.
This is what, during the early 2000s?
So my Saturn return was in 2008.
Okay.
And so
thanks, Obama. Remember that joke?
Well, yeah. So I'm just going to use that to segue, because speaking of Obama, so your midheaven, you and Obama's midheaven are exactly the same.
Oh, bummer.
So your midheaven is in Scorpio.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah.
Obama.
Yeah, so now Obama's your buddy.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing here is when I was bringing this information up, I was like, okay, this is quite comical. Because initially, you said in the previous episode that you don't like to be very transparent and openly about your public persona and things. Just your public persona is very...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what's so funny is that is exactly what Scorpio midheaven is. So Scorpio midheaven, usually their career, their public persona is, or their private persona is very mysterious. Nobody knows it. They're out in the public, but nobody really knows who they are. And so it's very interesting when we've talked about that. And I'm like, that's why. Which, by the way, so with your midheaven being in Scorpio, that is actually going to serve you. So you are right to keep your private life private and to have a public persona that essentially is not necessarily in parallel or similar to. So what's also interesting about the midheaven being in Scorpio is that
You're telling me Obama's different behind closed doors? He's not like that?
I mean, maybe he is like that, but maybe not. Because you can't, I will tell you this, you can't.
Michelle, shut up.
Exactly.
I can't do Obama loud. I got to do him quiet.
Quiet?
Yeah.
You want it? Please.
Michelle, please shut up. I'm trying to eat dinner.
There you go. That was perfect.
I don't know
because it still brings in his toned down
he's all
south.
calm and everything, but he's just a huge dick.
He's just a huge dick, exactly. So yeah, so Scorpio is very mysterious. So basically, what I'm telling you is how you go about your career is going to be very private and is going to be very kind of shut down to the public eye. But the interesting thing, however, with you being a comedian is that Scorpio, with midheaven and Scorpio, you have an uncanny ability to read people, everything about them, their mannerisms, so what's really interesting is you can use that, if in a healthy way, you can use that to maybe read a room in a comedy club.
Maybe. I make a lot of audiences uncomfortable. But that's the persona.
Right.
So
Right.
I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. That might be like one of the ways in which you integrate it into your career.
Probably.
Yeah.
I could see that. I think that's a very valuable skill to have as a public performer.
Yeah.
It's all about confrontation and critique.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay, so one of the other great qualities, and you may not resonate with all of this, but one of the other things with Midheaven being in Scorpio is that you have great investigative.
Body. Damn it. Damn it. Go ahead.
Just your face, though. Your face is like,
Well, I was expecting
Body.
something else.
oh, I'm so sorry.
So I got great investigative.
You have great investigative quality and like the brain for it.
Okay.
You love to like dig, and so it's not just being able to read people. It might be one of the many reasons why you also like to interview people is because you kind of like to get in and investigate, kind of. You like to get in and tear their brains apart.
I mean, I agree. This isn't even my normal speaking voice. I actually talk like this, see? I'm a Pinkerton from the 1940s.
Yeah.
I need to know what Dave was last Tuesday.
Okay.
He's wanted for murder.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. I would become a detective.
Yeah, well, you may. I mean, maybe that's how you'll end up achieving success, is becoming a detective during the day and maybe a comedian at night.
That would be too hard now. I'd spill all the details of the case.
But what I'm saying is, you would be the perfect midheaven placement to be able to keep that together. To be an investigator or a private spy during the day, a detective during the day.
I tell you what, I would love to write for and star in a detective show.
Okay.
And my sidekick's a tall dame with legs up to here, and she smokes. And I'm drinking whiskey during the day.
Yeah.
It's like a cartoon.
Yeah, exactly. What was the guy in Roger Rabbit? What was his name?
Yeah, man. Oh, man, I forget. But that trench coat was
Yeah,
styling.
whatever happened to him? He was... Damn.
He got locked down, Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah.
She locked his ass down, said, you don't need to be in those stuff. Stay at home.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, okay, so do you want to know about what your dying wish is?
No.
No?
Wouldn't it be funny if I said no? Yeah.
So with Midheaven and Scorpio...
First of all, I didn't know I had a dying wish. Can we clarify what this is?
So basically, every single midheaven placement, depending on the sign has different, like, what is going to leave you feeling fulfilled on your deathbed.
Oh, vengeance.
Okay.
I
mean, with a Scorpio,
cannot
you're
die.
actually very right in saying that.
Until I take out Brian in Michigan.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, if anybody has ever had any type of relationship with a Scorpio, it doesn't matter if you're just talking friendship, they can be very, very vengeful. So
You called me a
right on
nerd
the
in the 3rd grade, and I vow I will not gasp my last gasp, breathe my last breath, until I get vengeance.
Okay. Okay. So anyway,
Okay.
no, it's quite funny. I feel like I get a private show every single time. Like I'm just like, okay.
Just hanging out.
But anyway, yeah, no, your dying wish, the thing that would make you feeling fulfilled on your deathbed is actually, which some people could see this as very dark, but used in a healthy way, it would be having or attaining power in this life.
Like physical power?
Just any whatever what would be aligned like with your heart, or with your purpose.
So money.
Well, no, not I mean, unless you feel like that's what, but it would be power.
Oh, money
So
is
you
power.
could use, yes, no, I know. But used in a healthy way, okay, let's use money for instance. Okay, so used in a healthy way, you would die, you'd be dying, and you'd be on your deathbed, and you'd be happy if you had used your money to help a great cause, or if you had helped other people start businesses, or if you had left your nephew all of...
It's a lot of assumptions.
Right.
You act like I might not just like buy a small nation and just become God Emperor.
I'm saying used in a healthy manner, but you would be very, very happy.
How I'm gonna die? They're gonna overthrow me. Just like usurp the throne. I get stabbed by 12 spears.
I wonder if, like, the Pharaoh and a lot of those guys, I wonder if their midheaven was in Scorpio.
I don't know. King Tut was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll have to. I should do his chart. I'm curious.
He died from a toothache.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It does suck.
You figured out the pyramids, but not dentistry? Like, where are your priorities?
I know.
Power. That's interesting.
Yeah, power. Okay, so I'm going to go to my notes because I want to see if there's anything else that I can, like, elaborate on that would be helpful for you. Oh, so with Capricorn, with your North Node being in Capricorn, it's in the 12th house. So you may actually, your success, I know you're into comedy and that's where you're at right now, but your success may actually come from something that you don't even know, like a gift or a talent that you may not even know you have.
I'm telling my point. So I should go out to LA. So it's like a hidden talent that I don't know I have?
Yes.
Could be.
It could very well be a hidden talent, yeah. So, like, in 3 years' time, after your I keep wanting to say solar return, after your Saturn return, you could very well end up doing something else and be a complete success at it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Always wanted to try snowboarding. Shaun White. I'm coming for you.
Yep. So,
I'll take up MMA.
I'm just going through here. Okay, so I'm just going to go through the dark sides of the North Node and the South Node, just things to be aware of. With Cap North Node, be aware of not unconsciously slowing yourself down.
As I drink a Red Bull.
Yes. Unconsciously slowing yourself down because because your success is going to come in increments. So try not to get impatient.
Consistency is key.
And self-sabotage to climb to the top. You're going to want to balance your life, like your work and your home life.
Home.
You work better actually at home than in like a corporate office.
Oh, that makes sense. I'm hilarious when I'm alone.
I know, we discussed that in the previous one. Oh, the Cancer. So this is a big. So with the Cancer South Node, the South Node being in Cancer, the dark aspects of that is moodiness. Using family as an excuse to not go after your goals.
I gotta go check on my dad.
And emotional dependency.
Can you just tell me that I'm okay?
You're okay. But yeah, it says Scorpio midheaven, low profile in public world.
I need to buy more shirts with collars. Need to lean into that low profile.
That you're also able to mysteriously enchant other people.
I don't know. Well, what
so
does that mean?
that's where the comedian aspect might come in also.
So just
the
like
performance. Yeah. He's trying to manipulate me, like, by just, I don't know, doing magic? Is that what you're trying to do?
I was trying to enchant you into giving me $20.
Yeah. The other question I have for you is, do you feel like that you have an abundant amount of willpower and energy to work, obsessively?
Depends.
Do you feel like your workflow is obsessive and then I need to, like, completely self-care, and then work, and then self-care.
I don't practice self-care.
That is so not true. I know you personally, and that's not true.
Not like I want to. But it's also weird. I don't know how to answer that with it being 2020. 2019, Andrew? Yes.
Okay.
Like, extremely diligent, hyper focused on work, up every day at like 7 a.m., all that. 2020, Andrew, you know what I'm saying? Hanging out.
Well, I think 2020 has really ruined everybody's work
Get that
ethic.
Cracker Barrel cheese spread, throw it on a Ritz. That's breakfast.
But to be fair, 2020 I would not use as like a...
That would be a good podcast topic. How does each sign, like, how are people
actually coping in 2020.
or like what, regardless of whether they're doing it or not, what would the theoretical coping mechanism of each sign be?
Okay.
So like,
yeah, that is a good topic, huh? But see, I feel like I could do it right now.
let's do it.
Okay, so Aries, the
Burning
coping mechanism.
shit.
Yeah, burning shit.
Arson.
Going in, because I've done all this. Okay, so burning shit.
She's an arsonist.
Burning shit. Have I said burning shit? Burning shit. Raging, like scream therapy.
As an Aries, does it burn when you pee?
No, it does not burn when I
Okay.
pee. Thank God. Does it burn when you pee?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah, no, burning shit, raging, and working out. That would be like an Aries.
Theoretical
And
coping.
bossing everybody around. Like being able to boss everybody around. That would be
Yeah.
their coping.
Sometimes I call up my nephew and I'm just like, go do your homework.
Yeah. But that's an Aries.
He's
And
4.
you're a
He's not in
Pisces.
school. He's so confused. He's like, what do you mean, Uncle Andrew? I said, you heard me, boy. Get down to the factory.
Okay.
Okay, that'd be an Aries. What's next?
Taurus.
Taurus.
Would be making yummy food.
I was going to say
Sitting in their snuggie.
mating.
I mean,
I
yes,
think of
Taurians
Taurus
are very, like, sensual.
to like bull to like
I just don't think, you know what's so weird? This is going to sound horrible, and I feel really, really bad about
plug
saying
your ears, Tauruses.
No, because I know I know Tauruses, and I know that they have, like, I just don't see them as, like,
Horny?
very horny people.
They're supposed to have horns, aren't they?
Yeah. The bull. Okay, so moving on.
So food is Taurus.
Yeah, food, cuddling.
Rolling around in dirt.
Cuddling oh God, what do you call it? Like,
Pine cones.
no, when you like indulging in like luxury type stuff, like going on shopping sprees.
Treat yourself.
Yes, treat yourself.
Yeah.
And okay, so moving into Gemini. Gemini coping mechanism would probably be being with friends a lot. Talking, being with friends. Yeah, that's pretty much like Gemini. Cancer, kind of the same thing as Taurus. They would love to redecorate their home. That would have been the coping mechanism for Cancer during 2020. Would have been redecorating their home, baking cookies, that type of thing. Basically being nurturing and loving to other people. What do we have after Cancer? Leo, as long as Leo would have probably got ruined. You know, it's like with COVID, it's so hard, especially
A lot of suicide
well,
in the Leo.
because they're no longer unless they've got Instagram, they were the people that were jumping on Instagram, probably posting a lot more, because Leo's
Really just cries for help.
These are
on
all
Instagram.
stereotypically.
Yeah.
Leos typically like.
I'm gonna do
be
it.
The center of attention.
I'm gonna fucking do it.
Right. They would be the ones like airing all of their dirty laundry and yes, threatening that they were going to commit suicide on Instagram. But their coping mechanism would have been playing, being very, very creative. And as long as they would have gotten some attention, they probably would have been okay.
Okay.
Virgo, they probably like just did their taxes. Like they probably were the first to hand in their taxes during COVID, and they probably like redid their budget. They were like, oh my God, I don't have a job anymore. This is amazing because now I can redo my budget. Virgos probably would have looked at that as like a challenge. They probably would have been like, oh, let me sit down and redo my budget. Let's see here. What do we have after Virgos? Libra would have, oh my God. Libra.
When I think of Libra, I think of Libya. And when I think of Libya, I think of pirates.
Okay. See,
No, I'm thinking of Liberia.
Yeah, you're
Never
thinking
mind.
of Liberia.
It's two different places. Similar in name, but believe it or not, different
Very
geographically.
different. Yes, very.
Yes. And
Yeah.
culturally as well.
Well, so Libras, they probably would have been researching everything that there would have been to know about COVID. They would have been
At the library.
Yes, at
That's
the
why library
library.
is called that, actually.
They would have been really in there trying to figure out what's going on, making sure everybody was doing their due diligence. Scorpios probably loved COVID because they were like, great, people are dying. Like, this is...
Yeah.
Scorpios would have been like, transformation, it's about time. Like, we need to... No, Scorpios, they're...
Need to dig more graves, honestly.
They probably were very invested in all of this just because they were like, oh, this is a great time. The world is going to transform. And they probably just loved watching it all.
I don't think there's a single person when lockdown hit, they didn't have that thought of like, I'm going to fucking work out. And I'm going to come out of quarantine looking hot as shit. And then meanwhile, like by August, you're like, I gained 15 pounds. Started drinking again.
It's so funny. I actually had that conversation like yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. Me and my friend said, it was so funny. Because, I tend to go between extrovert and introvert. And she writes me and she's like, everybody's freaking out about this lockdown. And she sends me a meme about introverts, and how it's going to be amazing. And then she's like, this is going to be so amazing. We're going to be so buff by the end of the summer. And if anything, I felt like that was the way it was for like maybe the first 2 months. And then after that, I was just like, whatever. All is fair.
Believe it or not, I used to be 220 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all dedication, hard work.
Yeah.
This is 20% luck, 15%
Yeah, you
skill.
did this just for that photo shoot.
Yeah.
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 I mean, you know what? A lot of people can't put the work in. I put the work in. I used to be overweight. I had asthma. I had a lazy eye.
So Sagittariuses, I feel really, really bad for Sagittariuses. My moon is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius's coping mechanism, I feel, would have been to go anywhere. They would have wanted to have traveled, but they wouldn't have been able to. So I bet that they were doing like road trips around the state as much as they possibly could. They were
trying to sneak into Peru to do an ayahuasca trip.
Yeah, they were basically that would have been their coping, is like just trying to find any way to get
Fuck
away.
it, I'll swim to Cuba.
Yeah, exactly. Capricorn would have just worked the entire time. That would have been their coping mechanism. They would have just worked.
That's why Capricorns are doctors. Mm-hmm. I was a doctor in a former life.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah, I was just like, here, put this cocaine in your butt. That's the medicine that used to...
Yeah, that used to help people.
Yeah, I wasn't certified.
Okay.
It's more just a guy with a lot of cocaine.
Yeah. We call those spiritual guides.
Yeah, let me just...
That's horrible. I'm going to take so much flack on that. No.
Spiritual guides do a lot of coke?
Spiritual guides, No, the person administering the coke, if you weren't certified, you would have been called a spiritual guide. Yeah.
The more you know.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite rapper released an album. This is irrelevant. I'll tell you later.
Okay. All right.
It's called Spirit World Field Guide.
Oh, okay.
And it's a concept of an album about going into the spirit world.
Oh, okay. Interesting. You'll have to share that with me.
Sure.
Okay.
That was a side note.
Yeah.
But everyone look it up. It's great.
Yeah. Aquarius. Are you sure this isn't a friend of yours? Are you plugging a friend?
No, he is an kind of underground guy, though, so I'd like to see him get more album sales.
Okay.
I mean, I know you got like a massive audience watching.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Especially, for the spiritual.
Dozens.
Yeah. So Aquarius's coping mechanism during 2020 would have been, they would have gotten involved. They probably would have been volunteering at shelters, homeless shelters, food shelters. That's probably what their coping mechanism would have been. And Pisces.
Oh.
Andrew, you're
That's
up.
me.
Are you sure you want me to do this?
Yeah, I could probably guess. Definitely dropping 180 pounds. Because that's what I did, baby. You see this body? This is hard work, all right? And you can do this too. You can do this too. You know what? Send me an email. I'll work with you personally. $80 a week. I was 4'8" at the beginning of quarantine. Sheer tyranny of hard work and will. I gained 14 inches in height.
I love how you. I'm glad you specified.
I had a congenital heart defect as a baby. I worked through it.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
Okay. So Pisces' coping mechanism would have probably been drinking.
Probably.
I'm just saying that's just the Pisces. That is pure like Pisces coping mechanism. Or they would have been building forts.
Forts are fun.
Forts and drinking. What else would Pisces have gotten up to? Pisces maybe writing poems about the destruction of the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically like doing a lot of art, doing a lot of drinking, and forts.
Yeah. I mean, that's not that far off. I was really good about it. I wrote every day in quarantine
Well, see?
for like 5 months
Yeah.
before that stopped.
Yeah.
Now I'm in limbo.
Yeah.
I don't know what comedy is anymore.
Oh, you'll find your way back.
I know it's all Law and Order SVU, Adventure Time. I look up mindfuck movies. I'll watch those. It's all Netflix and Hulu.
Now, see, I'm confused when this happens because you do remember that your midheaven is in Scorpio and that you're supposed to keep your private life locked down.
That's not my private life, though. I consider my private life my internal emotions and thoughts.
Okay. Now, what you're watching?
No, I don't care.
Okay.
Anyone want to challenge me on Law and Order SVU? I'm proud that I watched that show. That show's amazing.
Okay. I mean, I guess you know what the thing is I think that's the thing to me. Like, it's so funny. That's probably me being an Aries, is that I do not consider feelings even a thing. Like, I'm like, oh yes, that's right. His internal thoughts and emotions. That is a thing that actually occurs.
No, you're the type of person who brushes your teeth 2 weeks in a row.
Right. Yes.
What are feelings? Life is numb.
No, it's not that life is numb, but I just think that like it's weird that to me they're like a certain like it's categorical.
I had Italian food for dinner yesterday. I'll have it again tonight. Just one day after the other. One foot in front of the next.
That is so not an Aries. That would be a Virgo, like the dark side of a Virgo.
Los Infernus. You start speaking Latin.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So do you feel fulfilled?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
Is there
that was
anything
great.
that you would like to discuss about your North Node, South Node, and Midheaven placements?
No, I think you just cleared up what I gotta do. I gotta keep hustling, baby.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately for you, that's the thing.
Rise to the top. I'm gonna have 48 pairs of sneakers
I think I know
by
why the
age
camera's
48.
here. It's so funny because I've never seen you in front of a camera until right now. Although I have walked down the street with you, and I'm gonna just say this, and I'm hoping it's not digging into that Scorpio midheaven ideology, but like it's pretty much the same thing. Like I gotta say,
Really?
like walking down the street with you, oh my god, you are very animated. You're very like a physically comedic person.
That's my biggest note that I've gotten since the beginning of improv. Is that I'm a kinetic performer.
Yes, a kinetic performer. Yeah, for sure.
That was always my strength in classes when we do exercises, like embody an animal. And I'm all about that stuff. It's fun.
Yeah. Well.
But I have a dead face. I don't emote a lot.
I don't see that.
That's why I can't act. I suck at acting.
I don't see that at all. I think that you do have a very expression-filled face. I just think that it's not. It's like
there's
the
a
opposite of watching
difference.
Friends, right? Like I kind of am probably like watching Friends. My emotions match my face. I don't think your emotions match your face, but that doesn't mean that you don't have a very expressionless face.
True. Well, it's a different type of performance because, I mean, Chandler's probably the most animated on that show. He's always
Right.
like, come on.
Right.
You know? And then, but like when you're on stage, like people, it's performing to the back of the room.
Right.
Which I learned from actually Bruce Dickinson, a heavy metal singer. Because, I mean, they do huge arenas. That's why he performs. He's always
So big.
so big and
Yeah.
like big,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. You're talking
So-
to somebody who used to dance.
Yeah,
so,
right?
Like, your face has to be like.
Yeah. If you're angry, you don't just look pissed off. You just
Yeah.
go like, you know.
I mean, you can if it calls for it.
True.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just the natural inclination.
Cool.
But what was the point of that?
Well, we
Sorry.
were just talking. I basically was saying.
I could talk about performance theory all day.
Well, right. Well, I was just saying how you're very animated in front of the camera. But then you're very animated, like that's what I was saying. It's not the difference. Don't do that because I do not know the Heimlich, even though technically you were just drinking. Oh my goodness. Okay.
That was fun.
You feel fulfilled? Yes?
In
like
what
you-
sense?
Do you feel
Yeah.
that you attained any power?
Could
Could you die right now?
You know what? If I got 2 Instagram followers out of this, that's at Andrew Gleason NC on Instagram and Twitter. If this helped me in any way get closer to that 1,000 follower goal, then yeah, I'd say that this was worth it.
Okay. Great. I'm so happy that I could have you on my podcast so that you could you could attain power through followers on Instagram. That's so spiritually inclined. I'm really supporting that.
Yeah. I mean, well, look, that was a joke, obviously. But if the
Obviously.
people did want to see the photo shoot,
Right.
they
you
would
do
go
have
to,
to follow
at
Andrew Gleason.
Andrew Gleason
Right.
NC. But also, no, I think it's interesting that that's where things, or what things ended up being, because I've always thought of myself as just like a pure Pisces.
Yeah. No. Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
So what horoscope should I be reading?
Well, so I always tell people their top 3, which is yours is Pisces, Aquarius, and Aries.
Pa. P-A-A. Pa.
It's so funny because I just sit here sometimes trying to read. I'm like, where is he gonna go with this? Oh my god, just me like sitting here. What's going on?
Well, it's Pa, so I'm a natural dad.
Right. You are. That's what the point that I was trying to make with the Cancerian South Node placement.
What are yours?
So
Aries.
my South Node Aquarius,
Your
or
top
my
three.
my top 3 is Aries, Sagittarius, and Libra.
Asshole. Age, sex, location. ASL. So you are a natural internet predator.
Well, it's so funny because I'm just laughing because we had the whole AOL
Oh yeah.
conversation,
Yeah.
like when AOL was like, dial up and you had the chat rooms, and that's exactly
yeah.
what it was. Is age, sex, location.
I think that's still
I would
popular.
put that I was 15 and everybody would drop out of the chat room.
Excuse me, I gotta go burn my computer.
Yeah, exactly. That was before. Well, I mean,
So that, yeah, all right.
you feel fulfilled. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll have to go ruminate,
Okay. You gotta think
marinate,
about it.
meditate.
All right. Well, it was good having you here. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
As always, you guys, thank you so much for listening. If you have any other topics for me to discuss, or if you would like me and Angie to do another episode in the future, please let me know. You can reach me at connectedpodcast.us@gmail.com, or you can also follow me on Instagram at connectedpodcast.us. As always, thank you again for listening, and I hope you stay connected. Bye.